What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Unplugged Nation podcast. And today I'm here with Ethan from Midwest Americans. Let me bring him up. So you can meet him. Hello, good sir.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's good to be here. Thanks for the
Man,
invite.
thank you for taking the time to be here. I know you are a busy man. And
Yep.
we did our little test, behind the scenes, and I could hear it. Your house kind of sounds like my house, like at
Oh yeah.
times.
Oh, with the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a interesting life having children. That's for sure. That's for sure, man. Never a boring moment. Never at all.
Yeah.
But
I actually don't know a ton about how many kids you have.
I just have one. I just have
Oh, okay.
one, and we have a puppy, and so they play off each other. But I mean, it's nothing like, how many kids do you have?
I'm gonna have three.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
will not
I'm
complain
having a
about time.
third. So.
I will not
No.
complain about time, man. But no, it's super
Oh,
super awesome having you on, man. You know, it's funny because like a lot of people within our niche are just American reacts and Americans checking out like primarily UK stuff, man. They don't understand
yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we actually do talk to each other, like
Yeah.
from a distance, and that's something that I didn't know until I would say we were like Spencer and I over on Braces Suck 21. We were about a year in, and then we started like kind of reaching out because it's so easy to just focus in and just keep your blinders on and just kind of focus on what you have to do, because it's always like this mounting Everest pile of stuff to tackle.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
but the community is out there for everyone. Like we're all, I feel like we're all tied in to each other somehow, some way. Like we're connected. We're all
Oh
connected.
yeah. Oh yeah. We all probably have very similar subscribers and overlap and all that. Yep.
Yeah, no, everyone on my channel like basically watches you, man. Yeah, like everyone's like, hey, tell them hi. I told them we were doing this thing. And so it's just
Oh,
it's
cool.
it's super cool to see that interaction. Like super cool to see some of your videos and the comments, and I'm like, I know them. Like I've seen them before.
Yeah.
And it makes the expanse of the internet seem a little bit homelier, a little bit smaller. And
Yeah,
that's
what gets me sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you're good, man. You're good. Go
It
ahead.
just it just seems like so many of the American reactors are on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like
I
there's no one out this way. It's insane.
Oh, no. And you know what? Now that you bring that up, yeah, a lot of them
Like
are.
like you got King Burmer, you two, Allen, JT, he's in Kentucky, so close. Sogal's in Tennessee. The only ones out kind of out this way would be Natasha and Debbie, but they're still like 10 hours away or something for me because they're in
Wow.
Ohio. So
And
yeah.
then you have it's JPS. He's out here, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, yeah, he's in
Yeah, I think,
Maryland. Yep.
yeah, he's up here as well. So it's just funny. Like the more we reach out to each other and kind of strengthen our little community, man. It's interesting to notice really how small like everyone is. It's a tight knit group of
Yeah.
people we have here. And I love that. I look at like your channel, and it's just refreshing, man. I love the dynamic
Oh,
that
thanks.
you guys have. It's just, it freaking works. And I know it can be tough. I know that. I see it, and it's just like, man, you are juggling so many plates. How do you
Yeah,
how
it's interesting. It's why we have irregulatory irregular. I can't say the word.
That's all
Um,
right.
it's inconsistency on the channel sometimes is because life comes up and it's like we were trying to sell a
Yeah.
house. I just went to Iceland. Um, and then the house sold and we moved in with my in-laws because I'm gonna try to go to school in August. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do because I have no idea.
Nice, man.
So yeah, and then I'm having a baby on top of it, and try to still like commit to the channel and keep that going because I think once everything comes down the next few months, like we're gonna try to actually start increasing our content or doing more, try to do live streams, and especially when we get the Google Fiber that's supposed to be coming in the next 6 months or
Yes.
so. But it's just everything's going on. Like even though I quit my job like the last month, I still have so much like to unpack and organize. Like today, I ordered a shed because I want to make a studio because my in-laws don't have
Okay.
like the biggest house, and we kind of want our own space. So I ordered one of those
Yep.
pre-made sheds, and it took a month to build for them. And they
Okay.
brought it out they brought it out this morning. Had the truck out. They were getting ready to unload it and everything. And I was looking at it and I was like, I'm pretty sure I ordered 7 foot walls on the sides, the short ends, because
Uh-huh.
it kind of goes up.
Oh, it's like a
And
barn,
it's like
like a barn
kind
roof.
of yeah, it looked like a barn. It's just a vaulted, from like 6 to 10 or 7 to 11 or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, these are 6 foot walls. Like I got in it, like came up to like my nose here because by the time you finish and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna feel claustrophobic. So I called the guy. They were awesome. Like they're like, hey, if you pay because they do make the 7 foot walls, they're just like, if you pay the increase, like what we normally charge, we're gonna build you a whole new one. So it's
Okay.
like a $400 difference, but that foot's gonna feel a lot bigger than
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, but
So
now
you're
I'm
playing.
gonna be a
Oh,
whole.
sorry. No,
No,
go
you're
ahead.
fine.
Sorry, man.
I just got the lag is kind of it's hard, but now it's a whole nother month to get another shed, and I have like all materials ready to go to build it. So now it's like, well, I'm gonna be doing school and trying to do the shed and the family and YouTube. So I don't know. Hopefully, sometime there's a break at some point, but we'll
that's
see.
that's that's where it is, man. For me, like, and I get that extra foot doesn't seem like a lot, but it's massive,
Oh
especially
yeah,
when you like finish it. If that's your plan to finish it, oh
oh
my
yeah,
god, it's gonna feel tiny. It's gonna feel
yeah,
tiny, and
yeah. It's only a 12. Sorry, it's only a 12 by 24 shed. So already when you finish it, it's gonna feel kind of small.
yep, yep.
But yeah, that extra foot is gonna be huge. Sorry, what were you
It's
saying?
Oh, no, because we got one for our wedding gift when we moved into this house. And yeah, like empty, it's huge, right? Empty, the shed is massive, but it
Yeah.
fills up quick. It
Oh
fills
yeah.
up very quick. And that's why I thought I was going to be doing reactions and stuff. Not really reactions, but like my channel aside from Embrace the Suck in the shed didn't work. I just said there's
Yeah.
not enough space. I got
Oh
kicked
yeah.
out of the shed, so I was like, okay, well,
That's
let's
funny.
carve out a spot. But no, it's interesting that you bring all that up. Like I feel like a lot of people, a lot of our subscribers, a lot of people in our community, like they just see us interacting on like videos and reacting to videos and stuff like that. They don't really see like the behind the scenes stuff, the chaos that we
Oh
carve.
yeah.
Like I have to I have to carve out with an ice pick about an hour a day just to get stuff up,
Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah. And then
and the
it's like the editing, like that takes a lot of time too. Like people it's not as simple. I mean, the reactions are a little simpler, but anytime you do any original content, like the reason why my Iceland videos aren't out yet is because I've just now gotten like time to do them. So the last like week and a half, I've been spending like close to 4 hours a day just to trim them down
yeah,
because I have over 100 gigabytes of footage. And, like I'm trying to like, okay, do I want to show this part or do I want to show this? And, like, okay, this is a 30-second clip. I need to reduce it to 5 seconds, and
bro,
it's my first time doing like big editing. I'm just like, wow, this is a lot.
yeah, just explode the internet and just upload all of the gigabytes. Just shut it down for a
Oh my
day.
gosh.
But no, that's so awesome, man. I saw that you guys went to the UK. Like
Yeah.
that is massive. That's a place where Spencer and I want to go eventually. Obviously, Spencer has a lot more leeway in up and going than
Hmm.
I do. So he will probably be the ambassador for Embrace of 21 over in the UK. Um, but
Gotcha.
eventually I'll get over. How if you don't mind, I gotta ask,
No, yeah,
like
yeah, yes.
what is the most how do I word this carefully as not to possibly piss off anyone? F it, it's a podcast. So hear me out. What is the craziest thing you've seen? Let's say the craziest difference for the worst and one for the better. What's like
Oh, that's interesting.
the spectrums of oh my god they do this, or oh my god they do this, like it's better or worse.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a truly was a worse because we weren't probably there long enough. Um, the best I would say, yeah, public
Yeah.
transportation is phenomenal. And coming from a country that has hardly any, like that's
Yeah.
just day and night, man. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I think worse. I'm not the biggest fan of the English breakfast.
Oh, okay,
I
that's
know,
I
I
gotta
know, I
ask.
know I know that'd be controversial, but like that's
No.
probably the like food wise, that was the least thing I liked. But yeah, man, it's public transport is awesome. Everything being so close together is
Yeah.
really nice. Just because it is a small country, it's like
Yep.
you have all that history and all the stuff to go see, and it's in like any country that's like 1,000 years old. No, I shouldn't say that. I mean, obviously, the world's older than that,
Yeah.
but a
What?
thousand years of yeah, 1,000 years of like good history that's preserved. Um, in just like France, Germany, England, Scotland, all those countries, like you can spend probably months and months just like this building, this location,
Yeah.
in such a compact area is really amazing. Like it's something special.
And that's something I noticed too. Is like, like they give us I'm gonna just generalize. They give us a
Oh,
hard time, right? They give us a hard time. It's like they've had thousands of years to fill from the coast inwards. We,
yeah.
as the U.S., to fill in inward, it's gonna take us another thousand couple years to
Oh
get
yeah, it's
there.
gonna be a while. Yeah.
It's so spread out, but that's why I feel like that's a actually very interesting point. Like their public transport has to be on par, like has to be on point. Because over here, man, you don't have wheels, you're done. Like
Yeah.
that's just how I live. Like,
Yeah, I've heard
oh
that.
man,
The U.S. used to have like trains used to be the mode of transportation, and I've heard that I don't know if the conspiracy theories or what, but I've heard that supposedly like the automobile industry came in and kind of made it
mm,
more into the freight industry. I haven't looked into it too much, but that would kind of make sense.
I
But
mean,
the
kind
thing
of,
is, like even here, the only thing I don't understand is why we don't have a good transportation system from city to city. Like I get the
yeah,
small towns, I get not having all that because all these towns have 2,000 and they're 30 miles away, 2,000 people. Sorry, 30 miles away from each other. All across like Kansas, half the population is near Kansas City, and like
yep,
trying to spend billions of dollars. I get that, but like you know how it is. Like Amtrak's our best public transportation, and every time I look at it, it's like almost the price of a plane ticket. It's
yep,
going to take you longer than if you drove.
yep.
Like I was just looking
It's
like to go to Chicago a couple years back as we went, and it was like $350 a ticket to go, and
really,
it's like 12. Yeah, it was like 12 or 15 hour train ride, and you can drive it in like 8 hours from here. So it's faster to
that's
drive, cheaper, and then when you're there, you have like I don't know how many big cities you've been to. Like I know I've heard New York City has pretty good public transportation. Chicago had pretty good public transportation. But like as soon as you leave that, like there's
it's
nada.
nothing, nothing. Yeah, no,
Yeah, it's nothing.
we have that in DC is pretty built up as far
Okay,
as
yeah. I haven't been
you
to
know.
DC, so
Well, I as a Marylander, I'm not overjoyed of claiming DC, but it's the
oh,
DMV,
gotcha.
like DC, Maryland, Virginia area. They're all
Uh-huh.
interconnected, and it's pretty built up. But you're right. As soon as you kind of get out on the into the suburbs, that infrastructure is gone. Like the metro or their tube system is
Mhm.
just not there. That's what if you're coming over here to the East Coast and you're going to come see DC, the way and this is a travel tip for anyone listening or watching, you park in the suburbs. You get book a hotel in the suburbs, much cheaper, and you commute into the city because
Oh,
the
is traffic that
cities,
bad?
yeah, and just the prices are outlandish. The prices are outlandish. So the commute is, at least in the DC area, the suburbs are maybe about 30 minutes away
Hmm.
on a subway kind of deal. But that's how you cut cost, at least around here. But
Gotcha.
and everything, like, DC is not a one off. DC, you could spend, like you said, like a month taking it all in.
Oh
It
yeah,
is a
that's kind of what most of our history is in some ways. I mean,
yeah,
the
yeah.
museums and yeah,
It's pretty wild. But we also have the bus, like the Greyhounds. They're kind of serve as that, like, very unreliable, unsafe mode of transportation between towns. I think I've been on
yeah. I
one
was
by
gonna bring that up
accident.
actually. My brother used one to get to Florida, and it was, I think it was a tad cheaper than driving. It was cheaper than flying, but I think it was like 24 hours, which, drive time was like 16 hours or something similar. So it wasn't awful. He was able to sleep on the
Right? Yeah,
bus. The killer
yeah,
is just all the stops they make. Like they're constantly making stops, and it's just, you're sitting
yeah,
22 hours on a bus.
yeah. That's a huge con. But
Oh
out of
yeah.
the things, out of what drew you to do YouTube, man? That is the question everyone is going to ask. What drew you
Yeah.
to create content?
Yeah. So there was a British reactor called Luca. I don't know if you've heard of him, but
Yeah,
he was just blowing up, and I saw his videos, and I was like, this could be interesting. Like I don't know a lot about other countries. I see what he's doing. It was obviously doing pretty good for him. He was like, gaining an audience and stuff. So it wasn't really like I was initially not like trying to build an audience. I was just like, I can just learn, put some videos out, and see what happens. Because I didn't know there were any other American reactors at the time, and there really weren't that many. I don't think at the time.
no,
But when I first started, I was just like, I don't see anyone else doing it. I see this guy doing it, and it was just like, yeah, like this is a great idea. Like you get to learn as you like make content, and it was something I knew I could do. With the kids and stuff. Like I wasn't it wasn't as involved as like doing other YouTube content, to be honest.
yeah.
So um, it's
Well,
become more involved.
yeah, well, yeah, 100%.
It
But
does
no,
more
it's
involved.
it's it's just so interesting that it's people. I feel like there's a lot of our subscribers that don't understand, like, how America centric we are already. Like, because we are so massive of a place, that news from, let's say, the outside rarely comes in. Not in any, like, massive way. So
Yeah,
for my
except if
whole, at
it's like,
least,
sorry, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
no, 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 you're good, man. We got it. Don't worry. The lag is a lag. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. We live in the future, man. But, like, the stuff that's coming from, let's say, across the pond, it doesn't come over in such quantity where it becomes mainstream news here. It just, there's so many different things to touch on within our continental U.S. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that and the news is just, yeah, constantly just you know talking about every little thing that happens over here, and then it's just like unless something major happens, like I hear about like a big earthquake, or I actually follow the BBC, so that helps.
yes,
uh, but yeah, if you don't follow that stuff, like your local news is hardly gonna mention, or even if you're watching Fox or CNN or whatever, like they're gonna be talking about what's going on in the U.S. and like like obviously Ukraine, that was a big deal. That obviously got pushed. Everyone heard about that,
yep.
but there's still a lot that happens that yeah we just don't.
Yeah, it's and for me, it's, even growing up, even going through the school system, like, I was never really exposed to news from across the pond. Like, there was never that switch. Was like, I wonder what's happening anywhere else in the world, and that's just maybe just me being ignorant or not knowing anything other than that. And I just,
Yeah,
hey, I'm just here. I'm going to deal with what's around here. But these channels of ours, our niches, have opened this door that I never even knew needed to be opened. And
oh yeah,
because of learning so much, man, it's so intriguing, man. It's just so different. It's refreshing. It's, to me, it's refreshing to learn about different cultures, different areas around the globe, different histories, different reasons why they are them. You know, and
Yeah.
I think it's just inherently good watching. You know, and when someone's on a course for of discovery like you are, you know, and you guys are on your channel, it's just I love watching that stuff because I learn too. Like,
Well, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah. Yeah, I really hope you go to the UK soon though, man. Because like you're especially like having the channel. I don't know, there's something different having the channel and like going over there because you like you already know a little bit going in, but then you can if you ever run into trouble, if you have a question or something, you can just ask like, hey guys, like you can always just do Instagram live and be like, hey guys, I'm here. What is this? Or not like that. Like all the comments, when you officially announce you're going or something. So many people are gonna give so many tips and everything. Yeah, it really did help a ton getting that information. Like I took from London to Edinburgh. They have the train called the Lumo. It's like the cheapest train, I'm pretty sure, to get there. And it was something new that they started. And anyway, I bought my tickets like ahead of time. It was only £40 per person to go travel
wow,
8 hours away. Yeah, dirt cheap. But you can do that in person, and it's like 90, I think 90 or £100. But knowing that to do it ahead of time and knowing to get like a rail card and everything, it was like really helpful, all that information. But then actually going
right,
and doing it in real life, you're kind of like acting out what you already kind of know what's happening or whatever. If that makes sense.
yeah,
Like in your mind,
yeah.
you kind of like you've checked it out. You're like, okay, I know it's going to take 8 hours. I know it costs this much. But then like actually like showing your rail card and getting the tickets and getting on the train, and it's a really unique experience.
I
So I really
I
hope you get to go soon.
I,
It'd be awesome.
I I bet, man. That's so cool. Like you basically ask the audience for help, and they like
Yeah,
guided you.
exactly,
Like I
exactly.
love that. You felt less like
Yeah,
a foreigner. Like
yeah. And the weirdest thing
like
was getting recognized, like legit, like just in a train station. And this random guy came up. I think we got recognized randomly like 3 times.
that's
It was the
awesome.
weirdest thing because like I don't get, yeah, but like like our channel was really kind of smaller, especially at the time it was like 32,000 or something, and then these random people coming up and be like, "Hey, are you these people? Are you Midwest Americans? Hey, I watch you. I love your content." And it's like
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome. Like
That's awesome, man.
so,
You know, I'm
yeah. Well,
constantly
I don't know if
telling
you
people.
saw.
Oh, yeah.
No, no, you finish. You finish. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying. Like, I constantly tell Spencer this. Like, you never know who's watching. You never know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just amazing how many people you meet from. I mean, the internet is wild. I mean, we're out there for everyone to see forever. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just so cool that you got to tap into that. Like, it's just that's very heartwarming that you were able to like go over
Yeah.
there and like, hey man, what do I do? And they got you the tips and tricks, like the insider knowledge. Don't be a regular American tourist. Follow our lead.
Yeah. Don't.
Like,
Yeah. So, like stay in queue. Don't cut in line. Stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, man.
I was gonna say though, it also opens up interesting opportunities though, because I know JPS when he went over there, he got interviewed like by a local radio station. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw that.
Yep.
And then when we were over there, we actually had a pilot in training because she wasn't quite a pilot. I think she is now though. But she gave us a free plane ride over like
What?
some of the Welsh mountains. Yeah, like in a
What? That's
little four seater.
awesome.
Yeah, I know, man. She reached out. The video's up, man. It actually, well, the funniest thing, since you didn't know about that, was it was going great and everything, and my wife threw up all over the back seat. And we're in this tiny little plane with a stranger subscriber that just met us. It smells really bad. There was no bag, so it's just a pile of vomit. She had to make like a special landing to clean it up. I felt so bad. I was so embarrassed, but at the same time, it's like, we're here, man. Like, we can't do help it.
Now you know for your
Stuff happens.
for your pro flying lesson, have bags if you're gonna take on passengers,
Oh yeah,
just in case.
yeah. And I think she learned that. She actually teased that. I think later when she flew someone or something, she like showed that she put bags in the plane.
I
So,
love
but
that.
yeah, man, it just like it opens up so many doors. Like I've had some people hit out and be like, "Hey, if you're coming over, I've got an Airbnb or I've got a house." And I was going with my brother, and they were kind of out of the way from what we had planned, so we didn't do that. But if you guys went, man, you probably be able to get some housing. Um, and
Yeah.
just meet with people, man. It's just people are so generous. It's
Oh,
awesome.
I mean, that's something that's the one thing across the board that has shocked me so much. I never had any kind of um like I'm blanking on the word I want to use, but there is a word that exists that I could use right now that would make sense. But uh the like I had no premonition. I'm going to try to sound smart of how anyone was across the pond. I had no uh anyway, preconceived thoughts how they were. I just
Preconceived
didn't
notion,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I didn't know, but I what I wasn't expecting was the amount of love and hospitableness that everyone across the pond showed. And it's just come in droves. The
oh
care
yeah,
and the love of our community, really. And it's super super nice, man. It's mind-blowing that we have a community that normally wouldn't exist out there on the internet. You give like put a gun to my head, be like, hey man, what's the internet like? I'd be like, it's cutthroat, it's vile and rude. Like, no, not our community. It's very nice. Very nice.
yeah,
I love our people, man. And I'm just so happy that we can we're in this we're in the same freaking country. At some point we're gonna meet up and do something together. We're gonna collab, right? Going to
yeah,
have to.
yeah, yeah. You
Now,
have to, you absolutely, because it's just like
yeah.
that's so crazy. It's like it was still like what 1,200 miles apart or something. Like it's still a pretty big distance, but
Yeah, I think so. Is that
so
is that how is that how far apart we are? Is it 1,200? It
I
has to be
think
something like
I
that.
think it's a 14 or 15-hour drive when I looked
Yeah,
at it.
that
So it's like maybe
makes
not 12,
sense.
maybe like 900 or something, but it's a good little distance.
Yeah, it's a good little distance, and that's not
And
driving slow.
no, that's still on the speed limit.
Yeah.
What sucks though is like even the domestic flights, like I was just looking at it, it's like $500 just to get over to the East Coast one way from here.
One way?
I know it's
Really?
summer. It was like 360, I think, one way, but I was, talking in my head like I got to take it back. Then by the time you rent a car, $100 a day, it's like it
Yeah.
can add up a lot just to be out for a day or
Yes.
something. But
Yes. Yes. No, it's something that, you know, if you do if you do an East Coast tour, definitely clear with us, man. We got you. We got we will
yeah,
find a way. We'll find a way to work with you, man. Because pretty soon
okay,
we'll be
awesome,
headed
man.
out your way soon. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
there's
yeah,
no
yeah. You gotta
reason
come out
why we
to.
can't collab. Hmm?
You got. I think have you ever been to Kansas City?
No,
Okay,
no,
I think it's
never.
smaller. It's like for 500,000 people, but it's really widespread. So it takes up a lot of land space. So like you have a very small like center, like the skyscrapers and stuff, but the city itself expands a lot. But I'd be interested to see what you guys think of the Kansas City barbecue.
Oh, hell yeah. Spencer's originally from North Carolina, and that's where he is
Yeah,
now. So you would definitely, he's the foodie. I am just
yeah.
always hungry. So I will eat and enjoy
Yeah.
anything that's put around my mouth, man. Like,
Well, it's kind of
that's just
well, nothing. It's kind of like you're bragging right now with the Chiefs, since they're doing so well. So I'd love to take you guys
yeah.
out to a Chiefs game if you can.
Oh man,
If
I'd
you
be
guys watch
down.
football, I don't know, but that'd be awesome because they normally do pretty good. So
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I don't have a team. My team was the Washington Redskins. And then they're
yeah, which
gone.
they're the Commanders now or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not my team. You know what I mean? They
Oh,
changed the name, so I'm like, hey, now is a better time than ever just to step away. There you go. There you go. I
yeah.
just, I think, yeah, that's where my allegiances lie. Did you guys witness any sporting events while you were over there? Any kind of sporting culture, any
No,
pub culture?
Yeah, no, we didn't do any sporting. We saw some football matches being played, but I think they were like school kids or something. It wasn't. It didn't seem like it was a like an official match.
Got it.
And we did go to several pubs. But I don't know how, since I don't drink, and neither does Angela. Like I don't know if we can really get into quite the same as other people. Now, granted, I
Yeah.
know the pub culture there is, it's not just drinking; it's also just mingling with your mates and stuff. We met up with some people in York that we're friends with now, and they took us to like 3 pubs, and we like hung out with them and talked and stuff. So that was kind of our experience. It was just like the food was good, pretty cheap. Um, the drinks are definitely cheap. So if you guys go over and you like drinking, you guys will enjoy that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like
No.
beer's pretty cheap. It's interesting. Well, it is interesting with the age because it's 16. So we did see at one like the popular pub of York. I forget the name of it, but all like the 17 and 18-year-olds were in there drinking after school. So that was interesting to witness. All these like school kids coming in, but
And you're just like, where are your parents?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, that's actually a pretty interesting observation because I would definitely have to do it like a double take, like a what the heck, like that's wild because that no one expects that, especially from here. Like we're just rooted. It's so it you don't know how not normal it is until you go somewhere else, right? You're like,
yeah.
this is our bar scene. You have to be 21 or older to drink. That's like ingrained, instilled in you, right? You go somewhere else and it's not that. You're like, wait a minute, what is going on? That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
But so so where so this so you just got back from a trip, right? And
Yeah, I went to Iceland with my brother.
and how was that? How was did you get recognized there? How's your demographic in Iceland?
No, 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 no. Well, I think the demographics like 1%. So, um, no, I did actually meet up with 2 subscribers though, but they had both reached out before I went.
Got it.
Because I had done like a video like I forget how I titled it or whatever, but it was like where I'm going next or something next trip, and we
Okay.
did like a reaction to the scenery and the top 10 things to see in Iceland or whatever. And so they knew I was coming, and they actually watched our show, even though it's mostly UK stuff. So they both reached out. I actually met with both of them, so that was really cool
That's
to
awesome.
witness. Yeah, like just random. Like the one, I didn't film it as much as I'd like to have, and it ended up being like 4 hours. But we met, and she like drove me all across Reykjavik for 4 hours, like pointing out every because she's like 50, so she's lived her whole life and seen it change,
Wow.
and it was just all that information. I wish I got on camera, even if it had been a 4 hour video. That's like
Man.
almost my biggest regret was I didn't get that information because it was
Oh
awesome.
man.
Like just the amount of wisdom. Um, Other than that, though, man, Iceland, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Probably,
Oh,
I
I
haven't been many
I bet.
places, but it's one of the prettiest countries on earth for sure.
Really.
Like it is stunning. Yeah,
I've
it
always
is very
I've
expensive.
always yeah, I bet. I bet. I believe that. Just but I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go to Iceland. Like I've
Yeah,
always wanted
man,
to go
it's
because
awesome.
but but no, man. So I'm happy for you that you were able to get out not just as like go to Iceland, but also your channel. Like you went out, you experienced it. Not a lot of people can say that they practice what they preach, right? Kind of thing. Like you put it all to the
Oh
test.
yeah,
You put
now, oh
all
yeah,
your
dude.
videos to the test, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
But
yeah, man. Well, you travel and like it's like you want to go again because there's so much to see in this world, man. It's like it's
what
crazy.
how for those of for those that are listening and watching, um, in your experience, in your advice, how long would you need to properly see, let's say, tour the UK? Would that be a month?
Uh,
Like, would that
yeah,
be a
yeah.
at least?
4 to 6 weeks at least. Um, yeah, because we didn't even because I ended up getting sick and we had some car troubles. I didn't even see the Highlands. I was right there and didn't see the
Oh man.
Highlands,
Oh
and so that killed me. So we have to go back to Scotland now just for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say definitely you could easily spend 3 weeks in England. I'd almost say 4 weeks in England, two in Scotland, and maybe 10 days in Wales. I feel like would get you to like the main, maybe like the like Bath, London, York, Liverpool, Manchester. Um, gosh, there's a bunch of other Alnwick. You could probably kind of bounce back and forth in England, and then obviously Scotland. You have Edinburgh. Dude, Edinburgh is my favorite city.
Yeah.
Well, the ones we went, I loved it more than London. I mean, granted, we didn't
What's
see a lot
that?
of London. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, something about it, man. It's just, it's got like this smoky, like all the buildings have like black. Not all of them, but I think it's from when they used to the industry, like 1920s and stuff. Is I think is like the
Hmm.
black smoke kind of stain the buildings.
Oh, that's awesome.
But they just have so much history there. They have so much. For such a small place, the public transport was awesome. They have the sea right there, so you have the sea. You have it's a very hilly city, and you just have like all these monuments and these beautiful, amazing buildings. But it's close enough to where you can just see all of it. They have like they almost somewhat have like a mountain called Arthur's Seat that you can go up on. It's
Oh,
just all right there in Edinburgh,
man.
and they have like the music festival and like a comedy show, like a big month long comedy thing. So they even bring a lot of stuff there to Edinburgh, and it's just I don't know. I loved even my brother, who's been traveled a lot more than me because he's been like Japan, UK. I forget where all he's been, but he's probably been to like 9 or 10 different countries. And he said Edinburgh was his favorite city that he's ever been to. Just
That's
something about it,
awesome.
man. It's unique.
That's
So
awesome. Like I can't.
yeah,
Man, you're making me. I want
you
to
you
go.
have to
I
go,
want
man.
to
You have
go.
to go.
I want to go.
Yeah,
I mean,
you have to.
that's all. It's just obvious. Like we are going to go there at some point. Get kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
That's like
absolutely. You have
it's
to.
gonna happen. Just a win. Win is that. So
Yeah.
man,
Do you mind? I,
mm,
oh, I know you said you're a stay-at-home dad, correct?
mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
what does your wife do?
She
If you
works for
if
the
you
government. Yeah,
oh okay.
she works for the government.
So
So
so she probably actually
I'm
does get she probably does get some good paid time off then though, right?
yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part
So
that we
you
divvy up.
just got to find that you just got to find that window. I mean, even if it was just 2 weeks, even if it's just 2 weeks, man, I would still say go. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, absolutely. Like you're gonna have to even if you can't afford like 6 weeks or 2 months or something, but I mean it's still worth going just to just to experience some of it for sure.
You're just
So
like go there, apply for a job, get a job, just stay less than
yeah,
six
yeah, yeah, yeah.
months, eventually make it back over here. Like
Yeah, eventually,
I
yeah.
love yeah, I love that. No, but I mean it's just for me, all my travel in my life has been to uh, well, I would say South America, lots of South America. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, lot from. I almost got the whole checklist done for South America because you can travel the whole freaking expanse of the continent knowing one language, which is Spanish. So,
Oh, do you
you
know
know,
Spanish?
yeah. So my dad's
Oh, that's
Colombian,
cool.
and so
Okay, gotcha.
that's where my heritage is down there. So I travel. I used to travel a lot more frequently than I do now because I don't think I've traveled anywhere except for Florida in the last, whew, my God, like decade. So, um, but no, I definitely want to experience the UK. I want to go out there across the pond. It's just, man, I'll put it this way, man. You are very. It's like motivating. You did it. I know.
Oh,
I have to do it, man. Like, because you
yeah,
have all the plates balancing at one time, man. You have all the plates balancing, and I have my child and my wife, and that's it. That's the team. So it's just trying to figure out that, and it's amazing. It's amazing how much just seeing your channel and knowing what's on your plate, how you still have that motivation to attack the YouTube content, the YouTube game, and it's
oh, well,
nice. It's
thank you.
nice to know, man, because no one ever gives like credit. Like it's work, it's work, it's work, it's hard work, it's grueling work, and sometimes work that's copyright claim. Like that's what I'm hitting right now,
Yeah,
personally. Is that
Well,
that
I have to say though, Angela is like one of the biggest helps on the channel because she does most of the editing.
yeah, that's
So like
awesome.
that's takes a ton off my plate right there. Because she like liked photography. She like so she kind of knew a little bit more about the editing side that I did. I can cut videos and stuff pretty good, but I'm not quite to the how adding all the tracks and all the making it look nice. I can do
Got
the
it.
basic stuff still, but
Got it.
yeah, Angela is the one who makes them look nice.
That's so. But I mean, just the dynamic between you guys is just you have such an awesome channel. It's very welcoming. Does that like it's just I when I go I watch you guys I feel like I'm at home. Like I'm watching with friends. It's just a very inviting atmosphere that you've created on your channel, and I really appreciate that you have created that aspect. You've captured that homely feel in such a great way. It's such an inviting feel atmosphere to your channel that I'm glad it exists. I'm glad it exists out there on the
Well,
internet
thanks, man. Really,
because
that makes me feel good.
oh yeah, man, dude, of course, man. It's just I'm all for people spreading positivity and just that whole side of things. It's just it's nice. It's nice when I go to your channel. It's like a step away from reality, and I love that, man. I really do. I really love
Thanks.
the content that you guys are cranking out, and I can't wait for you guys just to keep killing it, keep killing the whole game, because it's just time in, and you guys are doing all of that, all of the YouTube game stuff with the real life game stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah. Like right
that
now,
is
it started to catch up to where it's like things are just out of place and boxes, and it's like I have no idea what's where and all that. But yeah, no, it's good. Like actually, we're planning on going to I think Germany next year because that's where
that's awesome.
her sister lives. So, and that's where
Cool.
a good portion of my heritage comes from, at least on my dad's side that
Nice.
I know of is German.
Nice.
Because my grandfather came from Germany, so it's a relatively not that far away distance wise or whatever.
All right.
Genealogy, genetics, I forget generations. There we go. That's the word for
Generations.
it.
Got it.
Um,
Got it. It's all right.
yeah.
It's all right.
So, which is funny because actually I know JPS is actually if he's not already in Germany, I think he's going to be in Germany like the next week or so.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think he's gonna be out there next week. I believe so. I believe so as
something
well.
like
I
that,
think
yeah.
so.
But dude, I'm
Um,
telling you, man, on the travel side, like I don't know, I think it would cost roughly about. I mean, your plane ticket's gonna be 1,000. Like that's pretty much a basic ticket per person. If you don't really need a car. But you're looking at if you stay in a city, you're probably looking at $10 a day per person, or $5 to $10 a day per person for a pass,
okay.
for like a day pass to get on the buses and stuff. And again, I'm not British, so I'm sure that people in the comments will know way more than I do. But $5 to $10 a day per person for a pass. You're probably looking about $100 a night for a hotel Airbnb. I think the Premier Inns you can get them for 70 or 80. And I guess what I'm trying to say for 2 weeks, I think it came out under 3,000 for both me and Angelo.
That's
Now,
amazing.
granted, I my brother helped with the tickets for the plane, so but you could probably still do it for two people under 4 grand easily.
And that's amazing too.
So
You're, that's a great price because I'll tell you what, man. Not one of them could come over here and let's say in the DC area and and live and travel for let's say 2 weeks under four. There's just no
oh
way.
really?
There's no way, man. Hotels are at least maybe 200, a decent one where you're not going to get
Oh,
stabbed in the middle of the night, you know? And it's just, it's
jeez.
everything's expensive in the city. Everything is just expensive in the city, man. It is not a cheap trip. It is at all. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm even though I'm from here, I hate the city. I hate the city. I'm in more the suburbs. I'm more no, not even suburbs, man. I feel like if Maryland had a country, I'm right before I would describe my area of living right when you start looking at the GPS and looking like, where am I? That's where I live. I live in that
Okay.
bubble where you're
Gotcha.
like, okay, we haven't seen a lot of stuff, but there's still electrical poles. So we're gonna look at the GPS to see if we're still okay. Not, I mean, you haven't developed the panic sweat if you come up to where I live. Where you're like, oh God, we can't
Gotcha.
make it back. But but no, man. I don't know where I was. I went off on a tangent there. Sorry. No, the
No, no,
price
you're
of
fine.
the
No,
price
you're
the
fine.
price
Absolutely.
um the price that's very reasonable, especially for a family.
Well, I was gonna
I
say
mean,
too. Well, we didn't take our kids that time, so that
yeah,
helped. It was just me and Angela. Obviously, because if you take a kid, depending on their age, you're gonna be paying a full price ticket and all that stuff. So,
yep,
um, but I'm sure you're probably aware of this. I'm sure. But one thing that I've started doing, like I just get credit cards. They give you like a ridiculous amount of flyer miles if you spend
yes,
X amount or whatever. So like I think the trip to Germany is gone. I probably have accrued already enough to like cover two tickets over there because we will be
wow,
taking our kids over that time because all their
yeah,
cousins live there now. But yeah, it's definitely worth like if you know you're gonna go like maybe next year or something or whenever like 6 months, go ahead and get that credit card. Even if it has an annual fee, I found out like you'll still be saving at least half, if not three quarters, in the bonus miles you
yeah,
get just to sign up for the credit card with that annual fee or whatever. So just a little
that's
hack. Again, I'm sure
that's
travel channels and stuff have like tons of
That's still
hacks.
a great
You
that's
know,
still a great hack though. That I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know because, it you have to start planning for next year right now. If I want to
at
make it
least six
over
months.
there next
I'd say
year,
at
at
least six
least six
months.
months. Yep. And so I think that's fair enough, man. But how about this, man? When you are up in my neck of the woods, reach out because there's a lot of stuff that we can get into, man, out here. We
Oh
do
yeah,
have
because
we,
I've
we
I've
do have
never been
the
to Maryland.
it's a crazy wild place. Did you know that the state sport of Maryland is jousting?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, that's wild. You know,
I
um,
had no
yeah,
idea.
it's something ridiculous. And we tend to put our flag on everything. Um, but no, it'd be interesting, man. We definitely could collab on something when you get up this way. And we'll make
Okay, I
something
mean that'd be
happen.
awesome.
There's a lot of e, yeah, the East Coast, man. We're so full of that early colonial history, you
Oh
know,
yeah, oh yeah.
and it's so slam packed. It's so close to each other. Freaking Fort McHenry is right up the road. That's where the
Oh
Star
nice.
Spangled Banner. That song
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah,
up the
yeah, yeah.
road.
Right through.
That's
Yeah,
not that far. That little ditty that they wrote, you that we sing sometimes.
yeah.
But but no, man, I
Well,
can't
it's
wait,
like
man. Mm,
oh no, I was just gonna say I've been to Boston, and so I kind of like seeing like Independence Hall and seeing where like all the founding fathers like this pub or whatever was like where Benjamin Franklin supposedly wrote a book or something, and it's actually now Chipotle if I remember.
It's not just Chipotle. Benjamin Franklin just chilling at a Chipotle. I love that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the building was. But actually, though, I will say, have you been to Boston?
I think once, very early in my. No, I haven't. I can
Okay.
clearly say I have not.
Well, we went and saw the USS Constitution.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's actually we found out that it's still technically in service by the yeah uh, by the U.S. military, so they can technically call it out for war if they need to. It's a wooden ship, so if they ever got called out, like that's the last hope. But it's got cannons and everything still.
That, that's my ship. I love that. I love that. Could you imagine? Could you imagine in the time of war, just seeing a wooden ship? Like,
With
oh, that would
cannons
be
blowing up.
glorious. Be
Yeah,
glorious. I would you have to dress the part? You would have to.
no,
You would
they
have
didn't.
to,
They didn't
right?
adjust the part, but you'd have to. Oh yeah, you'd absolutely have to. I did want to
Like,
quickly talk about some.
yeah. Go ahead.
Um,
Sorry.
I just want to say you're into sports, pro. I assume.
Sports, yeah, here and there, man. Here, like I said,
Okay, yeah,
after my son was born, I took a massive step back. Like
okay.
I haven't
That's like me.
done that.
I was never interested in sports at all until my wife, because she's a big football fan. So I watch some of the games now, but like I'm not, if they lose or whatever, I'm not. I don't cry. I don't really care. But it's fun, with other friends and stuff watching it. But
Yeah.
anyway, I was gonna say though, there's two things that happen in sports news I was gonna ask you about. One is you heard that the World Cup part of it's being held in the U.S., right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, and you know what city it's being held in, right?
I thought it was a couple, man.
No, because
It's
it's North America. They're gonna do Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. So of the U.S.,
yep.
there's only one city hosting. It's gonna be
What?
Kansas City.
Is it really? I thought,
I
whoa,
have no
because
idea how they got that. I have no idea how they got that, but somehow they did.
that's wild, man. That's what because
So I'm really
I'll tell
looking
you,
forward to that.
wow. I'll tell you this, man. My personal channel, I got monetized because of the World Cup coverage. Like, I
Oh,
did I deep dove the World Cup on my channel, and that was a wild experience. Doing a bunch of watch alongs, and that's how my channel got to where it is with football videos, and which is
gotcha.
unfortunately the bane of my existence because it's the most heavily copyrighted material out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Like and we've just done a couple of the like top sports moments or whatever, and like they always get dinged no matter what.
yep,
I
yep.
also the other news is what did you think if you've heard about Lionel Messi coming to Florida?
That's wild. I don't think. I think that's a
Yeah.
great move for his
Oh yeah, for
fans.
Florida. I didn't know if there was gonna be a team that can like support him. I don't really picture the United States and like football too much.
Yeah.
Like I think we've done better in the last few years, but getting Messi, that's like a huge deal.
That's a massive deal. Like, and think about this. Freaking Mickey Rooney is like an assistant coach for the DC United. Like it's just these guys come to play in the lime, like the in the after years over
Hmm.
here. You because didn't Pele even play for one of the U.S. team towards the end of his career? Like
I
it's
think so.
like
Yeah.
this is, and even Beckham, I believe, played in his later years over
Yeah,
here.
which Messi, I guess, is maybe getting up there. I think he's like 36 or 37 or something. So maybe. I mean, the contract though, man, it's a big contract. So
It's kind of like, where do you want to retire? And he's like, let's go to Miami. Let's go to Florida. Like, fair enough.
well, no
Fair
state
enough.
tax, you know. So
Yeah, no, I mean these guys make
well,
big moves, man.
oh yeah. Well, it's crazy. I don't know the politics or like the reason why, but apparently Saudi Arabia offered him a 1.3 billion dollar deal for 3 years.
That is insane. Could you imagine?
If that's correct, I think it is. That's what I read. But I was just like, that's like, I mean, he's already worth hundreds of millions. Like, probably doesn't need like a one, but it's like, why not take an extra billion if you can't? I mean,
That's the difference between millions and billions
and
is
billions a
massive.
lot. Yeah,
Massive. uh and I think what's his name? Cristiano Ronaldo
he is
moved
playing for
to
Saudi
Saudi.
Arabia.
He
Yeah, he
got
is
a
playing. Yeah.
nice chunk too. So
Yeah, and I don't know
I
if
don't know,
that's
man. That's
why Messi chose not to. I don't know if he didn't want to play with Ronaldo. I don't know. I don't know him enough. I don't know enough of the sports to speculate why he turned it down. But yeah, it was just like, whew.
well, how about this? I'll reach out for the both of us. I'll reach out to Messi's camp. And I'm like, hey man, come on the podcast. Let's answer some questions.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
don't know
no,
other football
man,
players. He seems I like him, but
I like him too, man. He's definitely not like, man, you could tell he just works harder for it. Like, I don't
oh yeah,
know. I don't know what it is, but he's always hustling no matter what. He's never like just chilling. He's just
yeah.
always running somewhere. And maybe that's what his coach said. Just whatever you do, just don't stop running. Just look busy. Just look busy on the field.
Yeah.
um But no, man, I think the World Cup is going to open up some opportunities because there is because from what I understand, what I understood is that this World Cup that's being held in the U.S. is going to be one of the biggest World Cups as far as teams that are involved. Like
Oh,
last
okay,
World Cup
gotcha.
was like 40 something teams. This World Cup coming up is like 50 ridiculous teams. I think because each host nation gets a pass to go into the World Cup. So
Oh, okay, so we're bringing our U.S. teams.
and they're bringing Canada and Mexico already in. So they have to increase the attendance of this World Cup. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, if your local hometown is hosting the World Cup, guess what? I'll be calling very soon.
Yeah, I think it's still 2 years out, I think, right?
20. I think it's 26.
Yeah, it's 2020, so a little over 2 years. But
Yeah.
either way, I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't picture kids. It's like they just redid the airport. It's actually pretty nice, but I'm just thinking like hotels and stuff and traffic, and I'm just like, ooh. They
Yeah.
got me.
No,
I don't even know what they're gonna do, like stadium wise. I don't. I feel like they're gonna have to build a stadium, but I haven't heard that they're going to. So I don't know what they're
well,
doing.
I thought they were going to be piggybacking off the NFL's stadiums. For some reason, I thought,
No, actually,
I
now
know.
that I'm thinking about it, I think they're gonna build. I think they're gonna build a stadium for it, and then they're going to donate it to I think the women's soccer players when it's done. So they're gonna have
Oh,
like the
cool.
one of the best stadiums in the nation when the
Wow.
World Cup's done. Because the
That's
NFL, I don't think the fields like Arrowhead is already kind of old. I'm sure they would love to get a new one, but I don't know money wise, maybe it doesn't make sense. I'm not for sure
mm.
why they haven't done it. And then we have the Royals, the baseball team. Man, I don't even know if I don't think
I,
they're a field.
I
What
don't
is
think that would
what?
work at all.
Yeah, one thing that is kind of cool about Kansas City is we have. And again, I'm not the biggest sports person. I just got into like the last 2 years and whatever. I've never been to a game, but the football stadium and the baseball stadium are like back to back to each other.
What?
Yeah,
That's
like they
kind of
share like a
cool.
parking. Yeah, they share like a parking lot and stuff. Like so, like, some people like, well, you can have a baseball game and a football game going on at the same time, and
Oh my
yeah,
god. Oh my god. But that's it's
well,
like
it's
more of
pretty
like a
cool.
sporting
Yeah,
complex. It's like a sport complex. It's like there's a baseball field, there's a football field, and we have the basketball arena right up the road. So it's like what? That's great. That's great, man. No, I I think pretty soon here, and I will do one of these. I think pretty soon I'll do one of these like panel type chats. When I do them once in a blue moon the panel
mhm.
type chats, where everyone's on the screen gets kind of hectic, and
Yeah,
I like
yeah. I've seen a couple that you've done. Yeah.
yeah, they're it's definitely kind of hectic, but we I might be doing another bonfire pit night, and I'll send you the link, man. If you want to hop on, it's always open door, man. It's always open
Yeah,
door.
yeah,
Hop
just
on.
oh, I guess I should probably say do plugs or whatever. Oh,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah. Take
yeah,
your
yeah,
time to
yeah.
do plugs.
Oh, you're fine. There's not that many. So we just have our YouTube channel right now. You can go find that Midwest Americans. I think Daniel will put it down in the description.
Yep.
Um, we have our Discord, which is linked through our channel, and then there's Instagram. Instagram and Discord are the best ways to reach me personally. I would recommend Discord for like sending us links and stuff because it always stays there. And 50 different people can send suggestions for videos. As well as Instagram, I have to like try to remember the person that sent something, whatever. Um, we actually do have a Rumble, but I haven't been super active on it. But all our videos are going over there as well. We did that for some
Oh,
copyright issues. It was kind of I know it doesn't make any money. I don't even know the stats. Alan did it. He suggested it, so I just linked it. So I think some of our blocked videos are now on Rumble. I guess this is the first time
sweet.
me announcing or even promoting it, but yeah, there, there is a Rumble. Well, I know it's not gonna make not that money's everything to me, but like I know there's no money monetization from Rumble, but it's just a nice way. Like some of our Eurovision stuff, some of our football stuff got blocked, and
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's over
Yep.
there. Um,
Yep.
we do have a Patreon, but there's no content on it, and I need to fix the link, so it's not really a shout out. It's just I think we will set up a Patreon once we kind of slow down life a little bit. The reason why I haven't is just because I don't feel right charging people any amount of money to watch us if I can't commit to X amount of content or something, Because I
Yeah.
would like to do it though, because
It's
I think it would open up some like full length TV shows and stuff like that.
oh yeah.
And then maybe cut them down and put shorter clips on YouTube or something. It's kind of what I've been thinking. But um, anyway, so mainly it's YouTube, Discord, and Instagram are the three things we have right now. So
Well, well, man. Listen, I'll put it. You are always welcome on the podcast whenever, man. Okay, that's
yeah, I
all.
mean,
All the
this
people
was
that have
fun.
been, all the people that have been on the podcast have the key to the room. They have just, hey, you want to do something? We'll talk about whatever. And how I do it is the second time you're on, we won't even have to talk about YouTube. We could talk about whatever. You know,
All right, yeah, no
it
man.
doesn't
Well,
have to.
I
It
was gonna say
doesn't have to be.
I didn't really get a chance. I didn't really ask you too many questions. I feel bad. Like I didn't really get to know you a ton better. But I'm sure
No one,
we'll talk more in the future though.
yeah, no one cares about me, man. They're here for you,
No,
dude.
I do, man. Yeah.
Oh my god, man. No, man. But hey, listen, it was a pleasure having you on, man. And I can't. I I'm a fan of watching you guys kick ass and succeed, and I really appreciate and I want to thank you for just being part of the community and offering this space for all of our people to to share. Like this is great. Like we positivity and positive vibes. That's just what we spread and exude. And I really from the bottom of my heart thank you for just keeping that fire lit while your plates are full. You know, like
No, man. Yeah, that
you
means a lot.
it's
So thank
that's
you.
tough, man. Don't give up, man. It is a grind. It is a grind,
Yeah.
but I'm glad to see you rocking it out. And listen, man, anytime you want or anytime you have something to say, man, hit me up. We'll get you on another podcast. And maybe next time I'll bring Spencer on. You know?
Yeah, that'd be
Because
awesome. I assume
yeah,
yeah, get to know him too.
yeah, man. No, no,
So
he wanted to be here, man. But I was just he has some stuff he's doing currently because he's
no,
about to
it's
make
fine,
a road
man.
trip up. But but no, man.
Oh,
Soon we'll all get together again, and yeah, guys. For those of you listening, those of you watching, thank you for hanging out with us. And this is not the last time, man. Ethan, I'm going to hold you to it. It's not the last time we're going to be on the
okay.
podcast. We're going to
All
continue
right.
to stay in touch and have fun. Guys, as always, much love and unplug and do something legendary. And again, Ethan, thank you and your camp and your channel for being part of this, what we're doing here. All right, man.
All
All
right.
right,
Thank you
guys.
so much, Daniel. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
man.
Take
Yep.
care.
You too, man.